So we'll just do a quick video here. Similarities between Romulus, founder of Rome, and Jesus, founder of Christianity. While reading Plutarch's Lives, Volume 1, translated by John Dryden, I was reading about Romulus. If you're not familiar with Romulus, Romulus is the mythological founder of Rome. I got to the portion about his death, and I found some similarities between him and the death of Jesus, the founder of Christianity. Now, I'm not claiming that one stole from the other or one copied from the other. This is not one of those videos, although I've seen plenty of videos about that. Christianity stealing from earlier religions. And I myself have made those types of claims. But this is just, I'm an avid reader. I read it. It was interesting. And I would like to share it with you guys, because I know some of you may have never read the story of Romulus as dictated by Plutarch. And some of you may never will, but yet and still it's kind of interesting. So I'll get right into it and show you some of the similarities that I realized that I'm going to be highlighting. Now, I made a quick list just so I can have some reference. Ignore the poor technology aspect of this video. I'm just doing it with my phone. Ignore number 3, but some interesting things about Romulus. His body could not be found after death. There were ceremonies performed to commemorate his death. There were signs in the air at the moment of his death, i.e. the sun was darkened, the day turned into night, there were thunderings, and there were boisterous winds. People became afraid and people fled. They claimed that Romulus was taken up to the gods. He appeared to people after his death. He appeared to someone on a road after his death. And he was dressed in shining and flaming armor. And also, Romulus claims that it pleased the gods that he come to earth from the gods, remain amongst men for a certain amount of time, build the city of Rome, complete a mission, so to speak, and then return to heaven. I'm not going to go over the aspects of Jesus, founder of Christianity, with his death and things that happened after his death. Most people in today's society are familiar with that because Christianity is pretty widespread. Now, Plutarch was a 2nd century writer, meaning he wrote between 100 and 200 CE. He was born around 46 CE and he died around 120 CE. If you have a different translation than the one that I'm going to be reading from, it's going to be slightly different than this version that I'm going to be reading. But if you actually have this book, or if you go out and get this book, just for some type of reference, the story of Romulus, as dictated in the Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, is page 27. And we'll be looking at pages, give me just a second, some are 49, some are 50, and some are 51. Now, the claim that his body could not be found, real quick. Yet Scipio's dead body, and this Scipio is in reference to Scipio Africanus, the Roman general who defeated Hannibal of Carthage during the Punic Wars. Okay. Yet Scipio's dead body lay open to be seen of all, and anyone from his own observation might, from his suspicions and conjectures, whereas Romulus, when he vanished, left neither the least part of his body nor any remnant of his clothes to be seen. Whereas Romulus, when he vanished, left neither the least part of his body nor any remnant of his clothes to be seen. When Romulus died, his body could not be found, much like Jesus, the founder of Christianity. Ceremonies were performed to commemorate his death. Of course, with Christianity, we have Easter, okay, which we all know about. So let's see, bam, right where my fingers at. He disappeared on the nose of July, as they now call the month, which was then Quintilis, leaving nothing of certainty to be related of his death, only the time, as just mentioned. For on that day, many ceremonies are still performed in representation of what happened. For on that day, many ceremonies are still performed in representation of what happened. Okay, there were signs in the air, the sun being darkened, the day turning into night, thunderings, boisterous winds, etc., etc. We can find Plutarch making mention of this happening at the death of Romulus. Let's see. Right here. On a sudden, strange, and unaccountable disorders and alterations took place in the air. The face of the sun was darkened, and the day turned into night. And that too, no quiet, peaceable night, but with terrible thunderings and boisterous winds from all quarters, during which the common people dispersed and fled, but the senators kept close together. Okay. Also, they claimed he was taken up to the gods, right? They claimed that when Jesus died, he was taken up to be with the Father God, right? Right here. But commanded them to honor and worship Romulus as one taken up to the gods and about to be them and about to be to them in the place of a good prince, now a propitious God. So Romulus was taken up to the gods after his death. He appeared to people, and more specifically, he appeared to somebody on the road. Now, if you're familiar with Jesus, the founder of Christianity, he also appeared to people after his death, and he, in fact, appeared to two people on a road. So that's interesting. Interesting comparison. Right here, where my fingers at. Julius Proculus, by name, presented himself in the forum and, taking a most sacred oath, protested before them all that he was traveling on the road. He had seen Romulus coming to meet him, looking taller and comelier than ever, dressed in shining and flaming armor, and he, being affrighted at the apparition, said, and I'm going to stop there for just a second. So we see that he appeared to someone on a road, and he was dressed in shining and flaming armor. Now to the claims that he came to earth from the gods, he completed a mission, then he returned to heaven, just like Jesus. So we'll pick up right here. And he, being affrighted at the apparition, being Julius Proculus, said, "Why, O king," speaking to Romulus, "O king," remember Jesus was king of the Jews, "why, O king, or for what purpose have you abandoned us to unjust and wicked surmises, and the whole city to bereavement and endless sorrow?" And that he made answer, "It pleased the gods, O Proculus." This is Romulus's answer. "It pleased the gods, O Proculus, that we, who came from them, should remain so long a time amongst men as we did, and having built a city to be the greatest in the world for empire and glory, should again return to heaven." So Romulus here is saying that he came from the gods, completed a mission on earth, and he's also saying other people came from God as well, but that after completing that mission, he was to return to heaven, much like Jesus, the founder of Christianity. And maybe in another video, I'll go into some more of this. Y'all can freeze it and read some of that highlighted portion. No, not freeze, pause, excuse me. Read some of that highlighted portion. He also goes on to talk about how the Greeks and Romans and other myths and fables spoke about other individuals whose bodies could not be found after their death. Similarities between Romulus, founder of Rome, and Jesus, founder of Christianity, as found in Plutarch's Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans, Volume 1, translated by John Dryden. I hope you enjoyed. Read a book. Hotep.